Hey guys, Aaron Farmer here with mysugarfreejourney.com, and we are on day 24 of our 28-day challenge, so we are getting close to the end. Today, in previous lessons, we talked about the fact that diabetes and dementia seem to be caused by the same metabolic causes. Today, I'm going to try to break down exactly what's going on in our heads when this is happening. I think you're going to find today's lesson really informative. In 2008, the Mayo Clinic published an article in the Archives of Neurology looking at the effects of the duration of diabetes. In other words, does the longer you have diabetes play a role in the risk of developing Alzheimer's or dementia? And the answer is you bet. And the numbers are pretty eye-popping. According to the Mayo's findings, if diabetes began before a person was 65 years old, the risk of mild cognitive impairment was increased by a whopping 220%. And the risk of mild cognitive impairment in individuals who had diabetes for 10 years or longer was increased by 176%. If people were taking insulin, the risk was increased by 200%. The authors described a proposed mechanism to explain the connection between persistent high blood sugar and Alzheimer's disease, and it was, quote, an increased production of advanced glycation end products. So what are these glycation end products that keep cropping up in all this medical literature in reference to cognitive decline and accelerated aging? That's what we're going to talk about today. Much in the way that we know that dozens of degenerative diseases are linked by inflammation, we also know that dozens of these same diseases, including type 2 diabetes, cataracts, arteriosclerosis, emphysema, dementia, are linked to deformed proteins. These abnormal proteins have the ability to confiscate the health of my nose is stuffed up. Confiscate the health of other cells, turning normal cells into misfits that lead to brain damage and dementia. It's similar to cancer in that one cell can hijack the normal regulations of other cells and create a new tribe of cells that don't act like the healthy ones. So that's what's happening. Proteins. What a protein does in your body is determined by its shape. So a protein has a specific three-dimensional shape, and however that protein is shaped, that determines what it does in your body and where it goes and how it functions in your body. If that protein is deformed, it will start to do things that it shouldn't do. It will go places it shouldn't go, and it will cause damage not only to wherever it ends up in your body, but also to the cells around it. So what causes a protein to be deformed? For that, we have to look at these glycation end products. Glycation is the biochemical term for the bonding of a sugar molecule to proteins, fats, and amino acids. This spontaneous reaction that causes the sugar molecule to attach itself is sometimes called the Maillard effect, which we talked about probably sometime in week 1. That's the when you put barbecue sauce on a piece of meat and apply heat, that's what causes the browning reaction. And a bunch of in cooking, it's a very common thing. But the same thing's happening to your body. You put sugar in your bloodstream and you apply heat. We're almost 100 degrees, that sugar starts reacting to the other things, the other proteins and fatty acids and whatnot in your bloodstream, and almost never in a good way. Let's see, where was I? The process forms advanced glycation end products, commonly shortened to AGEs, which causes protein fibers to become misshapen and inflexible. To get a glimpse of AGEs in action, simply look at someone who is prematurely aging. Someone with a lot of wrinkles, a lot of sagginess, discolored skin, a loss of radiance for their age. What you're seeing is the physical effects of proteins hooking up with these renegade sugars, which explains why AGEs are now considered key players in skin aging. Or check out a chain smoker. The yellowing of the skin is another hallmark of glycation. Smokers have fewer antioxidants in their skin, and the smoking itself increases oxidation in their bodies and skin, so they can't combat the byproducts of normal processes like glycation because their body's antioxidant potential is severely weakened and frankly overpowered by the volume of oxidation. So you keep putting toxins in your body, whether it be cigarette smoke or sugar, then your body, it overpowers your body's natural processes to get rid of waste products and those reactive oxygen species. And when we can't get rid of the things, those waste products, bad things happen to our bodies. If it's, and if it goes on long enough, like you have diabetes for 10 years or more, you can do some serious chronic long-term damage to your body. Sugars in particular are rapid stimulators of glycation, as they easily attach themselves to proteins in the body. The number one source of dietary calories in America comes from our old friend high fructose corn syrup, which increases the rate of glycation by a factor of 10. So if you're on a diet that is high in high fructose corn syrup or any fructose, you're increasing this rate of glycation by a factor of 10, which is, again, these glycated proteins are what's causing a lot of the damage and what's causing a lot of the issues that we're dealing with in our society today, including obesity and type 2 diabetes and heart disease and all these other things that we've been talking about. When proteins become glycated, at least two important things happen. First, they become much less functional. They don't work right. And second, once proteins become bonded to sugar, they tend to attach themselves to other similarly damaged proteins and form cross-linkages that further inhibit their ability to function. So the damage is very rarely contained. It spreads on to other issues. That's why we very rarely see a person with one thing wrong with them. Like it's if they're obese, it's never just type 2 diabetes and nothing else. Usually, if they have type 2 diabetes, they have high blood pressure. They have heart disease, or at least the beginning signs of it. They've got other issues going on because these glycated end products are causing a wide range of damage throughout the whole system of your body. But perhaps far more important is that once a protein is glycated, it becomes the source of a dramatic increase in the production of free radicals. So we've talked about free radicals in the past. The free radicals are the other things that are floating around in your body and causing damage as they go. It's why we need plenty of antioxidants in our diet. This leads to the destruction of tissues, damaging fat, other proteins, and even DNA. You can actually cause damage to yourself on a genetic level if the damage goes on long enough. The best way to keep AGEs from forming and keep the damage from the glycation process at a minimum is, no surprise here, keep your sugar intake at a minimum. Don't eat sugar. Don't eat carbs. Don't eat anything that your body can quickly convert to sugar, like grains. All bad stuff. This glycation process also explains why LDL was thought to be bad cholesterol for so many years. We now understand that that it is when LDL becomes glycated that its oxidation becomes dramatically increased. The link between oxidative stress and sugar can't be overstated. When proteins are glycated, the amount of free radicals formed is increased 50-fold. This leads to a loss of cellular function and eventually cell death. So if you're worried about your cholesterol, the answer is not to cut out the fat and cut out the steak and cut out all the stuff and the eggs and all the stuff that you've probably heard that you need to cut out. If you're concerned about cholesterol, what you need to do is cut out the sugar, cut out the carbs, because those are what's causing deformations in that cholesterol so that it can't do its job. So if you want to improve your cholesterol, improve the way your body works, eat lots of fat, no sugar, no carbs, and a moderate amount of protein, and that's going to you're going to work well on that diet. I appreciate you watching. This is Aaron with MySugarFreeJourney.com. Please remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you never miss a video, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.